Well, this is an exceptional, amazing chat that I am about to start with two people that I must say are, unique in the sense that were in part of a historical day of America with September 11, and also to the fact that they had a remarkable story of themselves. And we're going to talk to you today about this, and I'd like to welcome you, Nick and Diane Marson. How are you? You're over in Houston.
Today.
Oh, there you are. Come from away. And that's what we're talking about today. The musical that came about from September 11, from the fact that you were on a plane that got detoured to the Netherlands of Gander. And wow, what a day and what an experience. How was it when you first arrived in Gander?
We arrived, actually, we just had lunch on the plane, and we were starting to settle down to watch a movie, and the captain came on and said we were making a detour. We were going to Gander, Newfoundland, Canada, which probably hardly anybody on the plane knew where it was. And he didn't really tell us exactly why.
He told us there was problems with the American airspace and we were diverting to Newfoundland,
Right.
which was probably the wise thing to do.
Yeah.
Because if he told us the truth, it would have been a really, really unnerving rest of the trip. In fact, the flight attendant knew the truth because she was as white as a sheet, and I'm thinking, golly, she's not cut out for this. There must be something more wrong with the airplane than just what he told us. Little did we know the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It was the next day that you actually were able to see what was happening.
Yes.
Yeah, we were stuck on the tarmac with, there were 38 jets. We were stuck on there for over a day. It was like maybe 30 hours before we got on.
Once we did land, they told us there'd been terrorist activity in the United States. And of course, that scared me because I live in Houston, Texas, with all sorts of refineries around us, and the oil industry is very big here. I didn't know where my family was. I didn't know where my son might be. He might have been on a plane somewhere because he traveled for work. It was very frightening, and no way, you didn't have a cell phone back then.
No. Okay.
It was a different life. There was no Google or anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
We didn't meet on the airplane. We didn't meet at the airport. It wasn't until the next day when we'd been transported to a shelter in a little town called Gambo.
Yeah, separately.
Separately, actually.
Yeah.
That we met, and we were in line for a blanket for the cots that are little like army stretchers they brought in, that were beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we did get off the plane at the Gander terminal, the volunteers there, the townspeople, had so much food, and actually they sent food out to the plane because on the 12th we had no food on the plane, and we didn't get off till late afternoon.
Yeah.
They brought lunches out to all of the planes. Almost 7,000 people were fed by those 10,000 people who lived in that area.
Out of their pantries.
Out of their pantries.
And that evening, that night, there wasn't a kitchen in Gander that wasn't making food.
Oh, and surrounding areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
It was their generosity and hospitality that got us through that first day, for
Amazing.
sure.
In fact, if it hadn't been for their generosity and hospitality, Diane and I would have never met.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And, and that was the start of, your, attraction to each other, which turned into, obviously falling in love. And I've got to say, there are no accidents in life sometimes. And, and here it was, a key situation. And this is...
I don't think either one of us got on that plane with any illusions of a romantic encounter. I was coming back from a family vacation my oldest son was stationed in the U.S. Air Force in England.
Wow.
And I had just been on a wonderful vacation with he and his family, and I was coming home to go to work.
And you probably noticed that we're not that young.
Yeah,
we're a couple of teenagers that went on a vacation.
Oh no, but you're inspiring me because I'm in your age group, and I think it's wonderful that you've found each other, and it's like wow.
It's funny you say that. I'm jumping to the end, but many times we've seen the show 138 times.
Wow.
Oh, it's 148 now. Sorry. And very often there'll be a group of more elderly ladies, mature ladies. Yeah, that's the appropriate. They will come up to me and give me a hug and say, "There's hope for me." Yeah.
There you go. You're a poster boy.
and they'll tell us how they met, and they'll tell us their special story.
Because every couple have a
special
moment,
story,
a moment in time when they wanted the world to stop for them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where Stop the World comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My God. And you've obviously traveled to many different countries to see the show, and you were in Melbourne, I believe, where you saw this show
in July of 2019 when the show opened.
When it showed,
Nathan played me and Katrina played Diane.
Right.
Yeah. Amazing. How was it to actually see this for the first time, and obviously, and
it was a little unnerving because we told our story to this young couple we'd met. And
we met them in Gander at the 10th anniversary in 2011.
And they told us they were going to make a play or a musical, write a play or a musical about 9/11. And I remember thinking at the time, well, good luck with that one. And they were not making a documentary, and so we had no idea what they'd done to the characters Nick and Diane. They could have been those two teenagers that I just mentioned, but they kept it so true.
Our own words
are in the show.
Beautiful.
And in fact, there's one point where Nick says, "I don't want to go." I actually said,
at Dover Falls.
Yeah. Because
and Diane did give me a kiss. It was actually on the school bus going back to the airport.
I didn't kiss him on the plane. Yeah. I waited until we were leaving.
How was that first kiss? Was that like the
thunderbolt? Relationship quite a bit.
Pardon?
Well, I knew we were leaving. We were going to be getting on the plane and leaving, and that was my chance. If I didn't take a chance then, I wouldn't get one because he was only going to Houston to work for a week, and I was going home, and we'd be 5,000 miles apart.
She played her ace. There was no way the British guy was going to do anything like that.
After knowing each other for 5 days.
5 days.
Even long after that I proposed.
I think that's beautiful.
In November, on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone. And you were married a year later after you got... because there was
in the room next door here, in our living room, we were married in our living room.
Beautiful.
September 7th.
Because there was a lot of logistics that you had to do in that time.
Oh, fate put us together.
You could write a musical about actually coming to America.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Right.
It's a lot of hoops.
Red tape.
Yeah, but you did it. And
I did it, I threw my life up in the air and came across the Atlantic. It's a pretty brave move, really.
And I caught it.
I
caught you.
Yeah, you caught him all right. It's amazing. And, and wow, and obviously your life together since, the September 11 has, obviously been probably the most amazing, fulfilling time of your life.
It's completely changed, I think, for both of us, actually. But for the longest time, we would not share our story with anybody. It's survivor's guilt.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 2009 when Tom Brokaw was going to make the Operation Yellow Ribbon, which is on YouTube as well, that we decided that maybe the time, if anybody's going to do it right, he will.
Yeah, and his documentary was going to be a tribute to the people of Newfoundland for all the help that they gave the passengers from all over the world.
Yeah.
And we went there and saw our friends again, and we'd been back 9 times, and It's our big family up north.
We're planning to go back again this September.
Oh, for a reunion this September.
Yeah. Well, the Come From Away is going to be showing in
the Canadian cast is going to have performances in Gander and St. John's.
Wow.
We're going for that.
That's amazing because it's now 20 years later, isn't it? It's just incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah. It's actually 21 because we'll be married. We were married in September of 02, and we'll celebrate our 20th anniversary this year.
Yes.
Incredible. Well,
it's a good job I retired before all this got underway because I had no time to do it otherwise.
I know, because you were a civic engineer, weren't you, Nick?
Yes, yeah, in the oil industry.
Yeah, and this is, and obviously you were based in Houston.
Well, I wasn't originally. No. I had a job in England in the oil industry. And when all this happened, I told the president of the company over there that I was moving to Houston no matter what. And fortunately, the parent company was in Houston, and I guess they wanted to hang on to me, so they made it possible for me to transfer my job.
Yeah, right. There again, it all lined up for you. Incredible.
It really did.
It was meant to be.
It was.
Yeah. Absolutely, you were meant to be, and that's why I feel, that's why sometimes, that's the energy of the universe will bring people together in the weirdest ways.
Yes. I usually didn't travel until after September 15th, because fares were cheaper. But my grandson in England was starting to school about that time, so I had to leave here August 30th, and I was returning on the 11th. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even gone to England until after the 15th.
I wasn't even supposed to be flying that day. I was supposed to go on the 10th, but the tool I was coming over to do some drilling.
Wow.
We were having problems. It was a development tool. And so I cancelled my flight on the 10th, and we carried on working. And halfway through the day, we got it working. So I then rebooked the flight for the 11th. So, and we were on Continental 5.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, this is a nice bit of information for you. The flight attendant on our flight, the hot towel, cold towel that you probably remember happening on the airplane.
Yes.
When we were canoodling, that really happened. And the flight attendant actually lives in Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
Her name is Marion Bradley.
Yeah, we reconnected with her in 2019 when we were there.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we were supposed to be coming to Australia. Actually, we should have been there around about now.
Yeah.
But we had to cancel it. But the reason being is that Diane's having issues with her hip, and she's undergoing physical therapy, and there's no way she could tolerate 16 hours.
It's such a 16 hours. I have to be up and about every hour.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame, Diane. I'm sorry to hear that.
We're sadly missing it. But,
it would have been sensational to have you here, guys.
I know.
It would have been extra special. Just.
I know.
Yeah, but look, I think look, it starts July 8th. It's not long on Gold Coast at Hoida. And which is a remarkable venue, and it's only on for a limited season, and then it's going to Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, and Auckland and Wellington. So it's on the move.
Maybe we can come back next year and go to New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is destinations there that you might be able to see if you're able to come. Diane, so but it's fantastic. I am just so thrilled that I have experienced the show, and yes, it is, come from away. I love that you've got your Aussie, Merc there still. I love it, Australia.
In the musical, Nick buys Diane 2 more beers. You probably remember that one. That was after she jokingly offered to marry me. Wow. And that all really happened, by the way. That whole scene is word for word what happened.
Wow, that's incredible. Oh, look, thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you for having us. Wish we could have been there. This is the next best thing.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely, and an absolute privilege for me to be able to speak with you today. I just can't thank you enough.
Our honor too.
Yeah, very, very honoured to be able to talk to you, and I wish you all the best in everything you're doing, and thank you for the inspiration that I might find love at one stage.
There you go.
Exactly. It's never too late, is it?
It's never too late.
Look for it. It'll find you if it's right.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you kindly. And
thank
all the
you
best.
for having
It's
us.
our pleasure. Our utmost pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Good day.
Good day. Good day.
Good day, sport.
I love it.